Today, we're going to talk about how to spot and deal with those tricky people who might be in our lives. Let's dive into a metaphor guided by the wisdom of Stoic philosophy. Imagine your garden. Your flowers are vibrant, bringing you joy every time you look at them. But then, you notice some of your plants starting to wilt. At first, you might think it's the weather or the soil quality, but then you realize the truth. Someone you trust, pretending to help you, is actually secretly poisoning your garden. Malicious people are just like this poison. While they appear friendly or supportive, they pull strings behind your back and slowly rot your relationships. So how do we recognize these people? First clue: masters of manipulation. These people first shower you with kindness, small gifts, sweet words, compliments that make you feel special. But their main goal is to make you feel indebted to them. They might even start asking you to return the favors you think you've received. They might even pressure you with kind words saying, "I helped you so much, now you have to do this for me." As the Stoics say, do not be fooled by the sweetness of words. Sometimes the poison is hidden in the taste of honey. The second sign to look out for is the perfect friend mask. Have you ever met a friend who is too perfect to be true? They remember your birthday, rush to your every problem, and listen to you with bated breath. But you feel a sense of unease because this person is performing. Real friends may be messy and sometimes critical, but fakes always play out a perfect script. As Seneca said, if you want to understand someone's true character, look at how he praises and how he is praised. Now let's dive into the third strategy: strategic liars. These people have truly mastered the art of storytelling, making every lie an adventure. They are inconsistent even in small details. They spin a yarn in different ways to different people, and when they're caught, they just add more lies to the mix. For example, they might say, "I was at home last night," when in fact they were meeting someone else. This is where Stoicism comes in. You cannot control the behavior of others, but you can control how you react to it. And finally, beware of the toxic attraction trap. These people who look perfect on the outside, who smile at everyone, who attract attention with their warm demeanor, wear you down on the inside. They might even claim to be helping, but their interference can weaken your self-confidence. Remember Marcus Aurelius's wise words, "Let nothing into your garden that will harm your soul." So how can we protect ourselves from all these toxic dynamics? The answer is simple: protect your inner peace. The power of manipulation depends on your reaction. If someone throws you a poisonous seed, refuse to germinate it. Remember the golden rule of the Stoics: focus on what is in your control, ignore what is not. Remember, your life is a garden. What seeds you let grow is entirely up to you. Let's talk about the remaining tactics of toxic people who infiltrate our lives and how to avoid these traps. After exploring the fascinating topics of manipulation, lies, and false glamour, we're diving even deeper. Our first stop: poisoned seeds. Picture this: a vast field full of potential. The soil is rich and the weather is perfect. Everything seems perfect, but there's a twist. These seeds are not what they seem. At first, they sprout in the same way as others, even seeming innocent. But over time, they take root, steal nutrients from healthy plants, and ruin the field. This is how malicious people work. They come on very nicely, all friendly and supportive. But be careful, because they can gradually suck your energy and drain your happiness. As Marcus Aurelius said, "Do not let anything into your garden that will harm your soul." The good news is that if you recognize these seeds early, you can save your life. Now, let's turn to the second critical issue: lack of empathy. Think about it. Imagine someone listening to your concerns with a condescending look. "You are too sensitive," he says, brushing off your feelings. This is not just indifference, it is blatant disrespect. But this is the exciting bit. When people are truly malicious, they weaponize a lack of empathy. They isolate you and make you feel guilty. The Stoics' advice here is clear. You cannot change the behavior of others, but you can control your own reaction. Take charge of your own response and don't let their emotional coldness affect you. The third trap, victimization. Some people play the victim role all the time, but you don't have to. Life has always treated me badly. No one understands me, when in fact they are avoiding responsibility. This strategy forces you to pity them and surrender control. But remember, victimization is a choice. As Marcus Aurelius said, our lives are the sum of our choices, so don't play their game. Reject their story and be the hero of your own story. Fourth, toxic behavior, being disturbed by the happiness of others. Why does someone else's success make you uneasy? Malicious people see your happiness as a threat, but you can overcome this. When you smile, they feel a flutter in their chest. They might even try to diminish your success with sly comments like, "You are so lucky." This is where the Stoic philosophy comes in. You cannot control what happens outside, but you can choose the meaning you give to it. If someone else's light bothers you, focus on your own. As Epictetus said, happiness is not outside, but inside you. Finally, the brilliantly positive approach of avoiding responsibilities. Have you ever met someone who doesn't accept their mistakes, who blames everything on others? "I didn't do it," they might say. "You're the one to blame." This attitude poisons relationships and stunts personal growth. The Stoic solution: honesty and courage. Remember Marcus Aurelius's wise advice: don't get angry, don't blame. Instead, see what you can do to improve the situation. Taking responsibility is the key to freedom. We have discussed 5 toxic behaviors, but what is the common strategy to avoid them all? The answer lies in inner discipline. The golden rule of the Stoics: focus on what you can control. Let go of what you cannot. The most powerful weapon in your arsenal: staying out of toxic people's games. Remember, the real power lies in managing your reactions. We're going to talk about your most important tool in the fight against toxic people: inner peace and self-worth. We've learned how to recognize them, and now it's time to learn how to stay invincible in this battle. First step: tune out external noise. Have you ever noticed? Some people act like a constant voice telling you, you are inadequate, you can't succeed. But as the Stoics say, no one can harm you unless you let them. How you react to these poisonous words is your choice. Remember Marcus Aurelius' golden rule: turn your mind into a rock before the wind. The waves may break, but they can't touch the rock. So how do you do this? Answer: you can do this by not tying your self-worth to external validation. Now let's dive into the second strategy: the hidden side of toxic attraction. Those who appear perfect on the outside are actually creating an illusion. They're always there to offer a helping hand and praise you, but they might be doing more harm than good by tearing down your self-confidence. How? They might, for example, make you dependent by saying, "I'm worried about you. You can't do this job on your own." This is where the Stoics come in. True strength is not submitting to the role others assign to you. So let's focus on our own abilities. As Epictetus said, you cannot control what is outside, but you can tame your inner reaction. Step 3: the trap of envy and the power of gratitude. Why does someone else's happiness bother you? It's a reflection of your own potential. And who are the people who make this happen? Malicious people. But here's the best part: the solution. The answer is simple: practice gratitude. Every morning, think of 3 things you have to be grateful for. This will clear your mind of all the negativity and make way for a positive outlook. As Seneca said, happiness begins with appreciating what you have. If someone else's light bothers you, light your own candle. Remember, darkness cannot drown the light. It only reveals its own presence. Secret number 4. Turn mistakes into opportunities for growth. Toxic people love nothing more than to use your mistakes as weapons. That's the way you've always done it, they say, backing you into a corner. But here's the good news. Stoicism is your savior. Mistakes are your teachers. Remember the wise words of Marcus Aurelius, obstacles are the path itself. When you make a mistake, ask, what has this taught me? Instead of feeling guilty, turn it into an opportunity for growth. Last but not least, daily Stoic rituals. So how do you put all these amazing theories into practice? Here are 3 simple but effective steps. Morning meditation. Start your day by asking, what can I control today? Evening reflection. Analyze what you reacted to during the day. Digital detox. Limit communication with toxic people. Remember, what you feed your mind shapes your life. We have discovered incredible ways to stand tall in the face of toxic dynamics. We will get to the point where this struggle is crowned, freedom and lasting peace. Get ready, because we're about to talk about how to protect your true garden forever. As Seneca said, the greatest victory is the one you win over yourself. We are at the most important stop on this incredible journey, freedom and lasting peace. We have learned how to recognize toxic people, how to fight them, and how to nurture our inner strength. Now let's turn all this wisdom into a concrete lifestyle. First step, Stoic freedom. For the Stoics, freedom means not being dependent on external circumstances. Let's explore this with a thought-provoking metaphor. Picture a tree. The wind blows its branches away. The rain soaks its leaves. But as long as its roots are strong, it will survive. Your inner peace is like these roots. As Marcus Aurelius said, outside storms cannot affect you because your soul can be protected like a fortress. The words of those who would seek to undermine you cannot force the gates of your fortress because freedom lies in the power of non-reaction. Step 2. Protect your mind like a fortress. Toxic people target your weak points the most, but you can't let them in. They feed your fears by constantly telling you you will be alone. So let's talk about how you can put an end to this game. Know your line of defense. Ask yourself this question. Is what this person is saying really about me, or is it a reflection of their own fears? Remember Epictetus's wise words. People hurt you not by words, but by the meaning you give to those words. Third strategy, become the master of your choices. The choice is yours, whether or not you make room for toxic people in your life. As Seneca said, the greatest slavery is to be a prisoner of your own mind. Freedom is being able to say no to things you don't want in your life. If someone is harming you, you have every right to call a halt to the relationship. As Marcus Aurelius so wisely puts it, no one can harm you until you allow it. Withdrawing this permission is the first step to your freedom. The fourth secret is incredible. It's all about daily rituals for a poison-free life. The key to lasting peace is through regular practice, not momentary decisions. Here are 3 simple rituals that the Stoics have practiced for thousands of years. Morning affirmation. Today, I will focus only on what I can control. Pause during the day. When faced with a challenging situation or someone who might try to bring you down, take a moment to breathe deeply for 10 seconds. And always remember this uplifting quote from Seneca. Anger is a short-lived madness. Evening, cleanse. To cleanse your mind of toxic thoughts, write the following in a notebook. What poison have I not inhaled today? And for the grand finale, the 5th and final step, maintaining your garden forever. Imagine your life as a beautiful garden. Now you know which seeds are poisonous. So how do you keep this garden alive? The answer is simple. The answer lies in boundaries and gratitude. Boundaries. Maintain physical or emotional distance from toxic people. This is not a weakness, but a requirement of self-love. Gratitude. Every day, give thanks for the healthy flowers in your garden. As Epictetus said, appreciating what you have opens the door to new happiness. Now, let's crown this incredible journey with a thought-provoking question. Who would you be without toxic people? Your answer will reveal the true self within you. These people are like mirrors, showing you who you truly are. Stoicism is your golden ticket to triumph in this confrontation. Let's close with some inspiring words from Marcus Aurelius. Life is neither good nor bad. It is your reactions that give it meaning. Even if you encounter toxic people, don't let them dictate your narrative, because true freedom lies in the courage to build your own peace. Thank you for accompanying me on this adventure of self-discovery and personal growth. If these videos have ignited a spark within you, don't hesitate to show your appreciation by liking, commenting, and sharing. Subscribe to the channel and don't forget to ring the bell for new content. Remember, your true garden sprouts from the peace within you. Take care and see you soon.